Ladies and gentlemen, podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio with your host, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Pena, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
Hi, welcome to Gamer Tag Radio, episode 756. Here's your host, Danny, and joining you this week, host of the show, we got P in the house.
Oh, yeah. What up, dude?
Good, man. Staying away from all the spoilers. That's what I'm doing for this week.
It's funny, we were talking about it off air before we came on, to record, and I haven't gotten as many spoilers or anything that's come close to a spoiler.
Yet.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's still 2 more days to go, but yeah, I've been relatively spoiled free, and I know, obviously we're doing the show this week without Paris today. He's visiting family, but I've been relatively spoiler free, and knock on wood, I hope it stays like that. But I don't know, maybe I'm not on Twitter as much. I'm more of a Facebook, Instagram. Actually, not even Instagram. I barely check Instagram these days. I'm maybe on every other day or whatever. But, for me, Facebook has been relatively spoiler free. So I'm just hoping that it just continues that trend. I'm not going to go as extreme as Paris or others who are, creating mute lists or just turning on, removing it from the phone. It's just, I think it's just don't open it. Just I don't think you have to go to that extreme, but hey,
I think Facebook is like the most dangerous one in my opinion. Out of all the apps that I use, because man, you could easily see spoilers there. So I'm here and there. I just post stuff on Facebook. I'm not like checking out videos or other people's feed
right
for now until I see the movie, The Avengers. But Twitter, I put every single word you can think of from Marvel, so it doesn't pop up.
Did you do like 4 days or whatever just to make sure that?
No, actually 7 days.
7 days.
I put 7 days. Yeah, just in case.
Why? By the time, like it depends. I guess as long as you put it from last Friday till now or whatever.
Actually, no, I did it. I started doing it a couple of days ago. There was only option for 7 days. Forever and something else I can't remember.
Gotcha. Well, what's beyond for infinity? There you go. It wraps it right back around to infinity.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna watch it Friday morning, 10 a.m.
Best of luck. I'm anxious. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm looking forward to just seeing everything that happens. Who lives, who dies, who survives to fight another day, and see what gets set up for the next phase of the MCU, which looks to be very promising now that the Fox deal seems to be the green light through. So hopefully, with this whole thing coming on, hopefully we'll see more. Hopefully we'll start to see the return of the Fantastic Four. I know they're coming back in the comic book form, which is a huge plus because that's the first family of comic books, if you ask me, right? And I'm pretty sure those who follow comic books would agree. That's actually where Marvel used to go to test out new characters, was the Fantastic Four. So they've got a long history within the comic industry, and I'm anxious to see what happens and what gets laid as the plan for future movies. Obviously, we're going to see Avengers 4 beyond that or whatever, but I can't wait. It's going to be a very, very good week.
Yeah, it's going to be dope. All right, head over to gamertagradio.com. Also, you can find us on different podcast apps. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and other podcast directories. Make sure to follow us, subscribe, post a review, share with your friends. Help us out.
You're listening to Gamertag Radio.
All right, so big shout out to Hispanicize because I was at their event last week. Dude, that event was so dope. I had so much fun at the event and met a lot of content creators from everywhere, from LA, New York, from all over the states, man. So it was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of like companies and stuff. And you know what's crazy? We had our panel the last day. It was on a Thursday. So, the majority of people had to leave, because they couldn't be there all week and stuff. So I was telling the panelists, like, yeah, maybe we're going to have a good crowd. It's not going to be that big, maybe, because it's Thursday, it's the last day and so on. Dude, our room was so packed. There was people standing.
That's awesome.
Standing. It was over 100 people in that room. Over 100 for sure. For sure. It was so freaking dope. Super excited. A lot of them listen to podcasts or they're curious about the whole podcasting stuff. A lot of podcasters too, they were there. So it was really, really cool. It was a lot of fun, man. Had a lot of fun with that, man. So if you haven't listened to the audio, make sure to go to our RSS feed. Back the last episode of GTR. That's the whole session is there, man. So I talked about a lot about my history and the movie and all that stuff, and it was cool. A blast. So shout out to Spanish Eyes. And also, the awards, that was awesome too. Tekla Awards. Yo, it was crazy. I was walking through the red carpet. My girl was like not used to that stuff. She's like, oh my, she was freaking nervous, man, because there was so many camera people, man, like media taking pictures. So,
well, I saw that. I saw that whole scene that you had, just sitting there with your dapper suit on, with the brown shoes, and I remember joking on Discord. That was the first time seeing you in slacks and dress shoes. So
yeah, it's not the first time. I mean, I do dress up here and there, special occasions. But
yeah, I'm just teasing you. I always see you, and you're always in your baseball cap and your sneakers. So I was just ribbing you for that.
All hood out, ghetto style, and everything.
I was just glad to see you snazz it up for a change.
Yeah, that's cool. But by the way, I just received this email yesterday, so let me read this very quick before we have a lot of topics here to talk about. But this is I personally, this is super special to me. So I got this email yesterday. And it says, Dear Danny, we're happy to inform you that your film, Gamer Tag Radio, a podcast story, has selected it, and it will be part of the Latino Experience in U.S. official competition. Congratulations. It is our great honor and pleasure to have your film to be part of the 7th Annual Dominican Film Festival, running from July 24th through 29th. 2018 in New York City. Let me tell you guys, it's a freaking dream come true because this is one of the biggest film festivals over there in New York. Is this one and also the New York Latino Film Festival. That's another one that's really up there too. So I just submitted a movie thinking, okay, yeah, we'll see. The director and founder of the organization actually called me and he was like, Danny, I've been working like with films for 20 plus years. I've never seen something like this. It's so refreshing. Thank you for creating this, man. Super cool. He's so excited to show this to the world because I told him that I really want to introduce podcasting and video games to a whole new audience, that people that don't know the stuff that we do behind the scenes and everything. I want people to know, how Pete when it comes to traveling and doing interviews. I want people to know about Paris and me and the industry, Diana, Mandy, everybody that's been involved with this project. So here's the thing. I don't know when we're going to have the screening. I have an idea. Is sometime during that week, the end of July. So here's the thing that I need the whole GTR community. Anybody that's close to the New York area, if you want to drive to New York City, we could do a meetup, whatever. I just need your support because I want to show people that, that we can make a huge impact if we all show up over there to the film festival, and support this film. Even if you've seen this already online, it will be an honor to have the whole GTR community to show up. Once I find out the details, I will talk about it here, but I definitely need your support. This is the first time I've ever done this, ever. First time for me. So I'm just excited about this whole thing, man. So this is something big for us, and I think that it's gonna open the doors for not only our podcast, but I believe too, just like the whole website, man, the community and everything, man. It will open the doors for all of us, man. So, Pete, you want to say anything about that before we go to the next topic, man?
No, it's just congratulations. It's obviously it's a huge honor and it means a lot to you. So obviously that means a lot to us, right? So I'm just happy to see that the accolades continue to come for all the work you put in to the documentary and everything. And just wish you the best, and we'll see what happens during the awards. Yeah. Hopefully you bring home the gold.
Yeah, that would be fun. So, so thanks to the Dominican Film Festival, the whole crew, the whole team, everybody, thanks a lot for the opportunity, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. So remember, July 24th through the 29th. Stay tuned for more details about that. All right, so we have here a couple of topics. And Pete, we're huge fans of Discord. There was an announcement today that Microsoft and Discord teamed up to connect gamers across Xbox Live and Discord. So there's no app yet, like an official Discord app, right? So what they have right now is that you log in through your Discord account on Xbox Live, so people will see the games that you're playing. The same thing as when Pete is playing PC and I go to our Discord Gamertag Radio channel, I can see what if Pete is listening to Spotify or if he's playing some games on his PC, it will show up. So something like that similar. Now, if let's say you don't have an Xbox and you have PlayStation, you go to our Discord community, you will see other people, what they're playing and everything too. So, but I think this is cool because I think in the future, if we want to play some PC games or with Xbox gamers, like when it's like crossplay especially, we're not going to have that issue, because I think the issue we were having before with Sea of Thieves was that Paris, for some reason, he had to set up his Xbox. For some reason, it was like all messed up. But we were playing through Discord and we were listening to each other through there while I was playing Xbox. Like it was like two separate channels. It was like a mission. But I think by this, having it like this, and in the future adding new features and everything, dude, I think that's a game changer for us, man. It will be a lot easier to play with our community members, man, online. What you think, Pete?
I think it's a great announcement in that it helps bring together gaming communities, especially people that may be playing the same game. I don't see it being a platform where you can jump on Xbox and natively communicate through Discord with other people, because I think that counters what could be, that basically counters what the Xbox party is, right? It's supposed to natively work for Xbox and PC. And I can't see how Microsoft would allow a third-party application that would do functionally the same thing. I think from an API and from a coding perspective, it's great. I love going through our Discord community, seeing who's doing what. Like I'm looking down on my list now, and I see some people streaming, I see some people playing Frostpunk, I see some people playing other games. But typically that's from a PC side. So it'll be great to see, Danny's playing Sea of Thieves, Paris is playing Destiny 2, or whatever. Anything. I would like to see Sony actually do this as well as Nintendo. I'd like to see this type of collaboration work across other platforms, like I said, like Sony, like Nintendo, because it helps foster that.
Nintendo needs a bad.
Yeah, it helps foster that co-op gameplay experience in a sense that it's like, I see you playing Far Cry 5. I've got Far Cry 5. Let me pop in real quick and let me jump in and spend like 20, 30 minutes playing with my homie, going through Hope County or something like that, right? I just think it's a great opportunity for just, and who knows, maybe these are the times where we start to see more of a push towards cross-platform. I'm not going to say that this is the reason towards it, but I think it's a great opportunity for the game industry to learn and appreciate that it's not always about the platforms themselves that we play on, but the little sinews of technology that join, whether it be Xbox to PC or PC to PlayStation, or, if it's PC to Nintendo. I like to see these little threads of technology that join all of these different platforms into one. I've said it for the longest that I would love to see, multi-platform crossplay, be a native thing, be a natural organic thing that is just normal. This whole, I only play on one platform. I think, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I think it's great that Discord's jumping the ball and doing something like this. I know they did it a couple months back with Spotify. So now I can just hover over someone's, username in our Discord server. And if they're playing Spotify, I can see what they're checking out or listening to. And that, in turn could maybe bring me onto a whole new genre of music that I've never heard or listened to. And I could start to appreciate and become a fan. And I think this is a great chance for something like that to happen in the gaming space as well.
It's funny because when they launched the whole Spotify and Discord, one of our listeners hit me up. Or he posted like in one of our channels. He's like, "Man, Danny, I love the music you've been jamming lately." I was like, "What? How he knows?" And I forgot about the whole Spotify and everything, Spotify and Discord.
Oh yeah.
So he's like, "Yeah, dude, I've been just streaming the same songs you've been listening to. Man, I love the jams, man. It's pretty dope." I was like, "Oh, damn, all right, thanks." So yeah, that was cool. That was cool, man. So but shout out to Paris because Paris predicted this a couple weeks ago. We actually had this conversation.
Yep.
So shout out to him. Miss Leo is back.
You hear me?
Next month, Miss Leo, the whole month of May, right before E3. So we're gonna have a lot of predictions. Make sure to stay tuned for that. And tune in. All right, so this was a shocking news right here. Albert Penello is leaving Microsoft after 18 years. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. When you're at a job for a very long time, I think changes is good, man. Changes is good. The first thing a lot of people will say, on Twitter, "Oh man, it's because Xbox is going downhill," and it's like has nothing to do with that, man. It's nothing to do with fanboy stuff or console wars, anything. He just got a better opportunity out there, and he wants to do something different. I don't blame him. Doing the same thing over and over for 18 years, that gets old, man. And I think he left the company with a bang. The Xbox One X, I think that was like his baby. He promoted that like crazy. Last year, he went to multiple media outlets, a lot of traveling to promote that console. He also was on our podcast, which was a great conversation with the whole crew and with Albert and everything. So I wish him the best. I think change is good, man. I wish Albert the best for sure, man.
Yeah, it's funny the when The Mask turning into a movie or TV show last week announced, the first person I reached out to was Albert Penello because I know he's got like one of the biggest Mask related website pages on the web. So
yes,
it's funny. He's got so many different layers to him. He's a great person to talk to, and we've had him on the show several times. We've had candid conversations like E3. We spent like 2 hours just chatting with him and Aaron last year at the Marriott. That was probably more fun, right? It's those candid conversations. That was a lot of fun, right? Where there's no microphone. It's just people talking to people, and that was such a great time. And from an Xbox technology perspective, I'm sad to see him go because I think he and if anybody can translate that technology, from a geek or a nerdy perspective, I think he's the great person to do that. But like you said, times have come and times are changing, and sometimes change is necessary. If anything, one of my business mentors once taught me is that the only constant change is change. And that's something that's resonated with me, especially over the last 2 years from a personal and professional standpoint. And so, sometimes you just need to step back and cast that line back out and go into a different direction. And I'm sure wherever he goes, he's going to be phenomenal. Curious to see where it's going to land him. Who knows if it's going to be
that's a big mystery right there.
The announcement was oddly vague with where he was going to go. So, they could go anywhere. It could be somewhere. He could go the way of Jay Allard and go completely in the opposite direction of video games. Who knows? Right. But, as a friend of the show, as colleagues and whatnot, we wish him the very best.
Definitely. I mean, I told them, hey, let's stay in touch, man.
Absolutely.
It's not about video games or interviews.
Talk more about Mask, man, and robots and toys.
Star Wars and all that stuff, yeah. But see, Pete, that's the thing I like about E3. I mean, yeah, the whole cover stuff. Besides that, the thing that I love about going to E3 is meeting our friends from the industry from all different companies, right? And we usually go to a hangout spot and everybody's there. I'm talking about from Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, third-party companies. Everybody's just there hanging out, talking. We're just talking about sometimes about video games. Sometimes might be talking about music, right? Or movies or whatever, like whatever is going on at that moment. We're just having a blast, man. I just love going to E3, man. So like last year when we were talking with Albert, dude, it was for 2+ hours just talking about a lot of cool stuff, man. It was a great conversation. I just love that, man. Especially us when we go to Michael Pacto party every year. That's another place that, it's not, us throwing our hands in the air and going, what, and partying. No, it's more, it's more of us like just lay back, chill.
Speak for yourself. I'm the one doing the what with the hands in the air.
what? No, but it's more, to me, it's more of just like networking. Just talk to people, man. When you see all the people saying like the other day, I think it was, was it Mike? Was it Mike or somebody was playing God of War? He's from Xbox, but he was playing God of War, and wanted to stream it through on Mixer. There was people online saying, "Why are you promoting your competition?" And he's like, "No, I'm representing a game. I'm a gamer. I'm representing me. I'm not representing, competition or Xbox or PlayStation. I'm representing because I'm a fan of games, something like that." And I think it's cool, man, to do that, man. Like, when you get to see the behind the scenes stuff that goes on at E3 and all that stuff and all these parties, everybody's get along, man. It's like a friendly competition type thing, right? But everybody hangs out and chill, man. Because there's people that used to work at one company and they're always moving around, man. That always happens, So,
and the gaming industry is a real small space, as large as it seems with its billions of dollars of revenue annually. It's a small close-knit community of people that'll go from one company to the next, and next thing you know, they're back at the place that they started off 15-20 years ago. So you never know. So as the best professional courtesy is just never burn your bridges, because you know where you might end up next.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
Best of luck.
Don't burn bridges.
Best of luck to Albert Pinello. Wherever he lands, I'm sure he'll do great.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, latest rumor. Are you ready for this, Pete? Latest rumor. Cyberpunk 2077 is first person. Your thoughts?
It's not really. It's not like Moses coming down with the tablets on that. I mean, it was kind of a known thing that it was going to be a first person perspective with potential to have third person views as well. So it would kind of be like a combination of first and third person view. Not surprising. I mean, you see other games in that similar vein, and for the most part, I think you get better immersion when you're in that first person view. Whereas from a third person perspective, it takes you over the shoulder, and it kind of makes like you kind of have more of an advantage in a sense, because you can wheel the camera around and have better sense. I'm not surprised, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Let's just put it that way.
No, it's not at all. Like, this report only talks about first person. There's no mentions about third person, right? And people are saying that maybe just the developers decided to remove it to focus entirely on first person gameplay, which is not a bad thing. I love playing first person when I play like Fallout and stuff like that. Like, I'm talking about like RPG games, not shooters.
Well, think of games like System Shock and Deus Ex, Prey. Those are all games that are along the same and similar vein to what Cyberpunk is supposed to deliver. I know people think CDPR, and instantly it's Witcher 3 and third person view and Geralt and his horse, and it's a totally different game. Like, yeah, fine, it's within that action adventure RPG genre, but we're talking the future. And I'm not, again, I know it's not coming as a complete surprise, because there was already rumors and stuff like this going back as far as like 2013 when they first announced that they were working on 2077, that it was going to have a first person view. But again, like I said, I think you get bigger and better immersion in a game like this when you go that full, first person view. And I think something like that just draws you as a player in deeper. So I'm glad. And hey, any information we can get about Cyberpunk 2077 while we're in 2018 is a win. I'm just so hype and amped up, and I cannot wait to see what CDPR has in store for us.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited.
I just hope that they show something at E3.
That's the thing. I hope so, and I hope they have beer too. Because they always give us beer every time we go to their session and stuff, So you know what? I love going to their presentation, man. It's like, it's comfortable. They give you snacks. They give you beer. They even have like this whole theme when you go inside the room of like, at that time it was Witcher, right? So I wonder how they're gonna have it once we go in for Cyberpunk, man. So
back in January, the same people that dropped this nugget about it being first person are the same ones that said that they would have a trailer at E3 and a playable demo for some journalists. So I don't know if this rumor is fully valid, and if it does, this definitely legitimizes this outlet. But I don't know. I mean, if they show up at E3, if CD Projekt Red is definitely going to be at E3, then that starts to trend legitimately towards this possibly being valid, right? So if they have this information and they've announced it, and if we see it there, that just legitimizes their information. And hey, I'm looking forward to it. I hope so.
So I know a lot of people have been waiting for details about the Crackdown 3. So there is a new rating from the Brazilian rating board that was found its way online, revealing that Crackdown 3 has been giving a classification, a rating and all that stuff, right? So, and it says that it's unsuitable for people under 16 years of age, right? So that means, in my opinion, that Crackdown is coming very, very soon. So here's my prediction here. This is like a little Miss Leo prediction. I think this game is coming out in August, and have September for any bigger games, Forza, maybe some Halo or whatever they want to release. But let this game release on a time when there's nothing really going on and it's kind of dead. I think that August will be great. A couple of years ago, Microsoft had released multiple games. Every month there was like a new game coming out from like August all the way to November. And I think they could do that with this. Announce Crackdown 3 this August, Forza this September, whatever other game, October, another one, November. They could actually do that and have multiple games back to back all throughout from August all the way to the holidays, man. So your thoughts, Pete? I know we talked about that this game maybe it was going to get delayed, maybe it comes out next year, but I think Microsoft is going to release this game this year, it looks like.
Well, remember, it was just a month ago that Phil Spencer alluded to the Crackdown 3 team already having a date that they wanted to release and would be talking about it soon. So soon doesn't usually mean a year. If we go by the Amazon Spain announcement or leak or whatever you want to call it, Amazon Spain had actually leaked a date of June 29th being the release date, which if you dig down deeper into the whole thing, State of Decay 2 was was indirectly confirmed as, having a May 22 date, which was confirmed by Microsoft later on. So, and if you look, and the Amazon Spain link for Crackdown 3 is still up. It hasn't been removed.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you start putting the little pieces together, maybe June 29th. It's a Friday. It's about average, right? It's about the same date and times period that, they want to start dropping games. That brings them right into August as their lead title, gets a monster head start on all the other stuff that they're going to be releasing. Leaves the holiday period for any other potential exclusivities that they may have, whether it be IP or timed exclusives or limited release exclusives with other titles such as Red Dead or others. So I'm going to stick with Amazon Spain's June 29th date. They've already done it once.
Okay.
But hey, end of June, it still fits that post summer. It's right after E3. They'll have a lot of momentum coming out of that. People looking forward to the pending holiday season, which is when all the major titles start getting released. Gets them ahead of the holiday kill zone, because titles that get launched up there should not be first launches or sequels such as this that have a tentative or a tenuous surroundings to them. Microsoft pulling it back was done for a reason, and so you don't want to just throw that to the wolves and see it like lambs to the slaughter and just get chowed upon and killed, a la Titanfall 2 did. So I think it makes sense for them to release it ahead of the holiday season. Give it time to marinate in the system and let people play it without any rush to try to beat it so that they can get to other games. Let them sit there and play it and enjoy it.
This is Gamertag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
See, that makes sense because if it all depends on E3, right? If Microsoft has a lot of announcements for games that's coming out this year, then yeah, it makes sense for a game like Crackdown to release it at the end of June and then have stuff nonstop coming out from June all the way to the holidays. So at least people can see, man, Microsoft, there's a lot of games, some are exclusive, some are indie titles. It's only available on Xbox One. It's not on PC. It's not on PlayStation. That's possible. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I was going based on if they have a lot of announcements, then release it in August and just continue to just back-to-back release games from August all the way to like maybe November, even December, the first week of December. Like maybe during the time where Video Game Awards, like around that time, all right? So, June 29th. Do you think it's possible for them to also release a game maybe sometime in July and then another one in August after that? It could be a digital game.
The problem is what game?
But that's the thing. We don't know.
We already know if Pickens is slim.
We don't know.
Pickens are slim right now in the Xbox.
We don't know yet. We don't know. We haven't seen anything. We haven't even seen their presentation at E3. So how the hell we know? We have no clue. Right now it's all rumors and speculation. Right now, we really don't know.
You're right. We don't. But the thing is that they haven't. Let's put it this way. We know that Microsoft likes to play the marketing game and build up the hype and support for their pending title. So we know that they're not known to do they're not known for Bethesda style moves where they say, okay, we've got the game and boom, it's released 3 months later. They're not that type. They like to they traditionally do the we're gonna do the 12 month, the 9 month, the 6 month, the 3 month marketing spiels, and then we launch. That's why I think we'll start to see Crackdown now, right after E3. I'm sure that they'll have something, but I don't know if it's going to be AAA title style. I think it might be more of something along the lines of maybe Ori, July, August, before we start hitting the heavy hitter September, October, November, December titles?
I think change is coming for Microsoft. I think then the industry is changing in all industries, even movies, TV, music. And I mentioned this a couple of months ago, how a lot of companies will announce, or even music artists, hey, my album is available today. And everybody's like, what? Nobody was expecting that, right? So go to Spotify, go to iTunes. It's available now. I think the industry is changing. That I think there's a reason why Microsoft is doing certain things. Get out, they're out of the convention center and having their own venue and all this stuff and all these, close to E3. Because I think change is coming for them, man. And I think you said games that it's not traditionally like announcements is always comes out from 9 to 12 months. I think we might see less of that and more of game that's coming out now, this winter, or early 2019. Maybe have one, maybe two for games that's coming out next year.
No,
but I think the majority of games that they're going to announce is coming out this year, 2018.
So, like I said, I think we're going to see this. We're going to see Crackdown 3 come in late June. I think the next title come out will be Ori, because it's not a major AAA title, but it's got enough clout around it to be looked forward to by players. It was listed with a 2018 release title or release date last year.
Oh, they did last year. Yeah. Yep,
so I think that's a perfect segue to go from them to go from, look, we're just going to drop, we're going to drop exclusives month after month leading into the holiday season. So that leaves Crackdown 3 and Ori and the Will of the Wisps right there in that July, August timeframe before they start dropping their Forzas and all the other stuff. We'll see.
You know what? I just don't see Ori dropping in the summer. I don't see that. I see that game dropping holidays because that's a game that it has holiday potential, not summer potential. I just don't see it. Last year, or the last time that game came out, it was like during during the winter holiday season, I believe. You could search if you want.
It came out March 2015. So you're completely
wrong.
It's spring. So you're wrong.
It's spring. But that's the thing. That game, I could see that game coming out this winter, this holiday. If it's 2018, I really doubt they're gonna release that during the summer, and people are gonna forget it right away because of the whole holiday season.
So you'd rather them drop it in the holiday season and get completely obliterated?
No, release it like the end of November, beginning of December.
You're crazy, dude.
September, early September. Release it. Yeah, why not?
So,
Pete, that's the thing. Remember this. Here's what people need to understand too. Not everybody, not 100% of the consumers, video game consumers, are gonna buy Red Dead Redemption or Call of Duty. Yeah, it's a lot of gamers that are gonna buy those games. But there's some that just strictly play old games, independent games. That's all they play. Maybe they'll only play Xbox games and that's it. They won't play nothing else. So we also got to open our minds and think like we got to think about that crowd because not everybody's into shooting games, man. Maybe they're into platformers. They're into games like Ori. That's possible too, man. There's an audience for every freaking game. It's like the podcast scene. There's so many podcasts. People listen to us, but there's a crowd that have never even heard of us, and they listen to like Spawn on Me or the Mommy Gamers or shows like that, right? That there's an audience for everything, man. But to say for you to say that game is going to disappear, nobody's going to know. That's completely false. That's not.
I don't know where I said that, but I didn't say that. I'm just saying, you follow the trend. You drop your Crackdown early in at the end of June. July, August, you drop, Ori, Willow of the Wisps. And then that leaves you with September, October, November, December to drop the rest of your games that you were already talking about launching in 2018. You've got a handful of stuff. You've got Spyro, the remastered or reignited, whatever you want to call it. You've got games like Below, State of Decay 2.
Below's a good one.
Oh, wait, State of Decay comes out in May. Never mind. So forget about that one.
Yeah, that's May. Yeah, that's May. Which I'm going to play it. Honestly, I wasn't. Honestly, maybe it's changed. I haven't seen any videos yet. But the last time I saw it at E3, I was kind of like the concept.
But you'll notice they go from State of Decay 2 in May. They have E3 in June.
Yeah.
End of June, walking into July, you've got Crackdown 3. So you're bookending E3 with 2 Microsoft exclusive titles that are coming out. You follow up with Ori, Will o' the Wisps, right into your holiday trend. Because short of a Halo announcement, there's no other monster Microsoft title coming out for the rest of the year. Ori, Will o' the Wisps.
That we know
of, right. That we know of. So,
that we know
but
of.
Going into E3 without something like Halo dropping in this holiday season, what else are you going to have in there interspersed to support people playing on the Xbox One or Xbox One X? Short of, that's when you have stuff like the Red Dead Redemption 2s, Metro Exodus, Anthem, if we even see it in 2018. But those are titles that people can play going into the holiday season, and you don't, and you've got that trend of titles, of solid titles coming out for your platform.
All right, how about this? How about this before we wrap it up? What if? How about this? Release Ori the end of August. Mid-August, end of August. That makes sense. Closer to September, right? July, let's be real, guys. Summertime, everybody's out. Everybody like this. Look, summertime right after E3, there's less activity online because people are just enjoying this vacation. They're out. They're on the beach and all that stuff, right? There's people gaming too. August makes sense. Not too early though. End of August makes a lot more sense, or even September if they want to take it to that level. So that's what I'm saying. It just doesn't make sense for Microsoft to release that game in the middle of freaking heat. It's summertime.
But that's why you drop it. That's why you drop a game like that, though. But that's why you drop a game like that, or like Spyro Reignited Trilogy, which is supposed to come out September of 2018. You've got those. I hate to throw the word minor at it, but you throw minor titles like that out there to feed the appetite of your community while you lead into the holiday season. That's why you do that. You feed them those.
Why you call this game minor? What do you call minor games?
I said games like Spyro Reignited Trilogy, which comes out September of 2018 as a minor title. Listen to what I am saying, Daniel.
No, but okay. Do you remember years ago, Summer of Arcade? Do you remember that, Pete? During the Xbox 360 days?
Yes, I do.
That was a lot of fun. Summer of Arcade was dope. And the way how they had it set up, it was like starting August, every week, they were releasing a brand new independent game on Xbox 360. They should bring that back, man. There was some games in Summer Arcade that was like, damn, this is so good, man. Every year. They haven't done that. They stopped doing that,
They ran out of titles.
Now every game is an Xbox One game.
No, they did it for a couple of years. They did it for like 5 years or something like that. I mean, some of the greatest games. Some monster games came out of that. I mean, if you ask me, Castle Crashers. Hell, my daughter still plays that. 2008.
Yeah, that game is like
they
classic.
Had games like Explosion Man came out, which is a great game.
Man.
Limbo.
One and two.
Yeah, Limbo was one of those.
Limbo's and all. Yep.
Dust.
Oh man, I forgot.
And Brothers: A Tale of Two Songs, or A Tale of Two Sons. Sorry.
Was that Summer Arcade too?
That was Summer Arcade 2013. The Brothers: Tale of Two Sons. Yeah, that was 2013. It came out with Charlie Murder as well, which is another game that my daughter loves playing as well.
I miss those games, man.
Oh, Bastion in 2011.
Dude, you have like the list in front of you because I didn't remember none of this. Okay. All right. I absolutely do. Then I remember. I'm like, oh man, I remember that. Man, I had so many arcade games on my Xbox 360 account. Oof, so many arcade games, man. I miss those days. Not gonna lie. Actually, right now I'm playing Panzer Dragoon Orta from the OG Xbox. Now I could play it on my Xbox One. Damn, that soundtrack is so good, man. I probably will stream it on Café con Danny. That game is so dope, man. You know, and I have this crazy prediction. I'm going to, you know what? I'm not going to wait till next month. I'm going to talk about it right now, man. This is a crazy prediction, Pete, before we wrap it up. You ready for this?
Hey, darling, this is certified psychic Miss Leo. The guys at Gamertag Radio have pulled me out of retirement to give them some free readings. So I've been using the power of the tarot cards to look into the future, baby. You hear me?
All right, so here's this crazy prediction, man. Miss Leo. This is a sneak peek of Miss Leo. Miss Leo prediction. A couple months ago, I believe it was either early this year or sometime last year, Phil Spencer went to Japan. Nobody know why. Nobody know with which where he went, like the company, but he did post that he went to Japan and he had a couple meetings over there. What are the chances of a Sega game coming back to Xbox One?
I'm gonna hang up the phone.
Not Shenmue, not Sonic, not an exclusive or anything like that. I mean, it's possible. You never know. Things could get crazy when it comes to money. There's been games that a lot of people have been requesting, man, from Xbox, like to bring back and stuff, right? From the 360 days or from the original OG days. I have a feeling that we might see a Jet Set Radio game, man. Something is telling me, I don't know what it is. My gut is telling me that we might see something from Sega. Maybe some Jet Set Radio. It is kind of crazy, Pete. I know you're like, I know. It's a crazy prediction. Here's why I said that, yo. It can't, okay, so PlayStation has Shenmue, right? And it seems now that Sega is bringing back their old games. They're bringing back a lot of stuff. They're even bringing back the Sega Genesis. You can play Sega Genesis Mini and all that stuff, right? Sega's bringing back Shenmue 1 and 2 for all consoles except the Switch. They have Shenmue 3 coming out. Bayonetta is out, right? The request of the return of Jet Set Radio. I think it's possible, man. You don't see that?
100% no.
Okay. Look, that game was an exclusive for the original Xbox. Now, at that time, PlayStation was like top of the charts, Yeah, like a lot of people bought the Xbox, but it wasn't compared to like PlayStation, it was potatoes, man. You know what I'm saying? But that game has potential to blow up or even bring back the old game, bring it back, remaster or whatever. Like I could see that happening, man. I could see that happening. Dude, that soundtrack was so freaking good. Beastie Boys was in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was dope, man. Mix Max and Mike, I think, is in that soundtrack too, man. It's a dope soundtrack, man. Keep on sleeping. If it's not a new game, they're going to bring back the old game. Mark my words, guys. It's coming. It's coming for y'all.
The only reason I disagree is I think they need to start bringing in new content. I get that there's a whole slew of titles that were never played back in the past, but I'm not the supporter for that. I mean, there's people have played them and they have their place, but I'm just a new title person.
All right. And my question is to you, P. Why Phil Spencer was in Japan? And then he didn't mention Microsoft Japan. He said companies in Japan. So he had meetings. So I don't know. It can't be Namco. They had the whole, Dragon Ball last year, the marketing deal. It can't be. Maybe he's Platinum Games. Who knows? That's possible. Platinum Games is a big developer in Japan. But I know something is telling me that has something to do with Sega. I don't know. Think about it, guys. Think about it, and you tell me if I'm wrong or right. It will be cool if that happens. If not, hey, at least I can say Let me dream.
I mean, you think of the game studios in Japan. There's obviously Nintendo. It's not going to happen. Then
not going to happen.
Square Enix, Sega, Bandai Namco, Konami.
I mean, Square Enix, the only thing that I have is Kingdom Hearts, but that to me, I think it's going to be a exclusive marketing deal with Sony. I don't see that with Xbox. It's going to be available for Xbox, but Sony got that locked. That's what I'm saying. Like, who else? Like, mention another video game company from Japan that is big and very influential.
Aside from Capcom, I don't know. Maybe a Biohazard / Resident Evil type.
Here's the thing. He doesn't need to go to Japan for Capcom. There's Capcom Vancouver. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's, they've done Dead Rising over there in Capcom Vancouver. I think this is Sega, man. I don't know. I'm telling you, there's no other company I can think of, man. I've been thinking about this for days. I'm like, who else could it be? It can't be Square Enix. Unless they have some crazy announcements. I mean,
brand new Final Fantasy? Exclusive to the Xbox?
I think not too early. I think, no way. I think the focus is going to be Kingdom Hearts. It's going to be Kingdom Hearts. I don't know. I know the listeners right now are like, Danny, that's kind of crazy. That's a crazy prediction. But I don't know. I
pretty much
leave it like that. You know what? Why not? Let's go crazy with predictions, man. That's the best part about our recordings right before E3, because we're just freaking hype about E3. So we'll just come up with this crazy. Like, I'm not even basing it on leaks. I'm basing it on like things that I would love to see, and maybe will happen. You never know. If not, hey, who knows? All right, so head over to gamertagradio.com. Post your comments and feedback. You can find us on different podcast directories here. You could, different apps, whatever. You could go right now, go to Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, and other podcast directories. Yes, make sure to subscribe, follow us, post a review. It will help us out big time. So anything else, Pete, you want to talk about or say before we wrap it up?
No, that's basically it. I'm going to go take my muscle relaxer and fall asleep because my back is killing me.
Yep. Old man right there. All right, guys, until next time, we're out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Thank you for listening to Gamertag Radio. If you'd like to donate and help us out for future events and more coverage and also better audio equipment, head over to donate.gamertagradio.com. That's donate.gamertagradio.com. Thank you.